Hi guys, Varun here from Phone Arena, and we also have Milan here, and we're going to be unboxing the all-new iPhone 12 Pro, which has just landed in India, and it's also coming with this MagSafe Charger, which is a new charging standard and charging concept where Apple claims that you can just slap this charger on the back of the phone and you can charge it wirelessly. And we also have a case as well for the iPhone 12 Pro. Cases, yeah. So this is the Pacific blue color of the iPhone 12 Pro we have here. And it's one of my most favorite colors of the new iPhones. It's one of the most interesting really colors. Nice. And yeah, that's what I think we have here on the frame as well on the back. So that's the color. And it's got this whole new stainless steel design. And we're finally coming back to that old familiar iPhone design.
Yes, the really classic, good design.
Yeah, so the iPhone 5S, 4S. Yeah, so some might call it a little stepping back in time, but I think it's great because
why would you not want that's a nice industrial design
form factor.
Yes,
and you can also, it means that you can pack a lot more internals inside. It's a rectangular form factor rather than the
it's more efficient
curved kind of design of the iPhone 11 Pro. So this is the iPhone 11 Pro. I've been using it for quite a while now, and I also use 11 Pro Max for a bit. But I think the 12 Pro is and the 11 Pro are the ideal sizes, right? So in terms of the hand fit. So I'm still waiting for the 12 Pro Max as well. But for now, I mean, that's still about to come up for pre-order. But the iPhone 12 is already on sale in India.
12 and 12 Pro
are on sale
in India.
And the 12 Mini and 12 Pro Max are going to come up for pre-order, and it's going to be available later this month. And you might be wondering why the box is this small this time around for the iPhones. And Apple made a bold kind of announcement.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's both good and bad.
There are pros and cons, yes.
So one good thing is that it's a smaller box.
Much smaller, so they can pack more iPhones in a container.
Last year's iPhone 11 Pro's box, as you can see, it's almost 50% the size of the last year's iPhone.
Pretty much.
But the bad news is that you're not going to get a charger in the box and no earphones as well.
Yes.
So, and
classic Apple.
So that's the thing. But I think it's a good move in one way, because if you consider me personally, I have so many Apple products lying around, the chargers from even my iPhone 5 and 6, I still have them lying around, and it's a lot of e-waste.
Yeah.
And even the earphones, I think Apple wants to sell more of their AirPods. And and I don't use my wired headphones, so I do have my AirPods Pro here, so which I use very often. So I think Apple, I just wish they reduce the prices of these phones to justify them not including the power brick and the earphones.
No, it's Apple here. No way they'll do that.
But yeah, so I think that might happen at some point.
Maybe.
But let's hope. But the bad news is, you need to buy a power brick separately if you don't have one.
If you don't have one. But there's a good chance that you might have some.
You might have one. But the tricky bit here is that you need a Type-C to a Lightning charger, not a Type-A.
Yeah, Apple doesn't talk about that part.
So that's the thing. So you need to have a Type-C to a Type-A charger with you. But I think it's a good move. I mean, in a way that you're going to be having less e-waste.
A lot less.
And also, most of the time when I actually kind of buy or sell Apple products, most of the time this charger is sometimes never given to you. I mean, if you in the I'm talking about the second-hand market.
Yeah, that's true.
So the lightning cable and the people, it's mainly the main device in the box, or not even the box, mostly the device itself. So I think there's a lot of chargers. It's not just Apple, right? You take Samsung, you take OnePlus. We have so many chargers lying around in our office.
That's true.
So it's a good, I think it should be done in a way that in case you need the charger, I think you might have to probably order online and get it for free or a subsidized price. They have dropped the charge of the cost of the charger in the US. I'm not sure about India though. But yeah, so let's come to that in a bit, because it uses, I think it charges the fast with a specific 20-watt charger.
Yes.
So, which we might not have access to right now, but yeah, it's coming in the market. But you also get a 15-watt, you can buy a 15-watt MagSafe charging cable as well. So we'll show that in a quick demo to you later. But for now, let's go in and unbox this all-new iPhone 12 Pro. So here we have the iPhone 12 Pro, the Pacific blue color. As you can see, it's this all new packaging, which is slimmer by almost 50%, mainly because there's no charger in the box. And you have the information here about the contents, and it clearly says that the charger and the earphones will be sold separately. So without much further ado, let's open up the plastic tab here and let's get it out of the plastic wrapping here. And this is the box, and let's open it up. Wow,
That's a nice color.
that's a beautiful color.
Yeah.
It's a Pacific blue. It's probably my favorite pick of all the colors. There's a blue, the gold, the graphite, and a silver color. And this is probably the iPhone 11 Pro from last year, and this is probably the silver color from last year. Also similar this year as well. But this is that Pacific blue. Wow, and that stainless steel frame is gorgeous on the side. And for the first time, actually, they're putting a white packing material on the
Screen protector, yeah.
Screen protector. Normally, it's a see-through, transparent film.
They have for all
The
Apple
sound
products.
of taking out that plastic, nice satisfying feeling. And boy, oh boy, this thing feels amazing in the hand. Very similar to the 11 Pro in terms of the form factor, but the rectangular edges is like amazing to have. And it's got this ceramic shield on the screen, and it's got this matte back, which is
Similar to the frosted finish that they had
Yeah.
for the iPhone 11
Pro,
series.
so very similar, but this seems much more matte than
Matte
last
finish,
year.
yeah.
And this blue is amazing. It doesn't reflect as much light, and you got the glossy portion near the camera modules. You have the camera modules very similar to last year, but you have a new addition there.
The
We'll
LiDAR
come to
sensor.
that in a second. Yes, that's a LiDAR sensor. So let's actually power up the phone. As you can see, it's got the stainless steel band on the side, the lightning port at the bottom, and everything else is flush on the top. You have the SIM card trays moving from the right side to the left side this time around. You also have the volume buttons and the flip
Same.
silent switch. And you also get a small band here. This is probably an antenna here on the side. On the right side, you have the power button here. And you don't see that antenna band you see in some of the 5G models.
That's
So,
because the
Indian version
doesn't have the sub gigahertz. No, it has a sub gigahertz. It doesn't have the millimeter wave.
millimeter wave
Support.
antenna is not there on this particular model, but it still has support for 5G.
Yes.
For several
On the sub
bands.
gigahertz.
And there's also a microphone near the camera module. So that's pretty much it. And you have the earpiece and the notch for the
Face ID.
And
Unchanged.
nothing much has changed there. So let's power up the device and come right back. So let's put the device aside, and as you can see, there's nothing much in the box this time round. You
No
only
more.
get the Type-C to Lightning cable here. So that's only the item available, and you get the smaller. This going more eco-friendly and reducing
Yes.
paper, and also there's
Only one
sticker,
Apple sticker this time.
and you also get the SAR value declaration here, and it says it's less than 1.2 watts per kilogram for India. And you also get the SIM ejector pin.
That's pretty much it. That's all the
That's
box
pretty much
contains.
it. So that's the all new iPhone's new packaging. And this design is something which reminded me to pick up the old iPhones from my closet. So this is the iPhone 4, 4S, 5 and 5S we have here.
The boxy design.
And yeah, so the rectangular design, as you can see, this is the 5S. Amazing design, amazing form factor. So Apple is going back to these good old days where you had rectangular iPhones.
Yes.
So the beauty
Flat
of these
edges.
things is you can actually make the iPhone stand. So let's try if you can stack up the iPhones. So as you can see, the 12 Pro does stand as well. The 11 Pro couldn't do it because it's got curved edges.
Curved edges,
So,
yes.
yeah, so the iPhone 12 Pro can stand, considering it has a flat bottom. So that's the design story here. As you can see, very similar to the design story of the
4 and 5S.
4 and 5S. And these, I'm looking forward to the iPhone 12 mini as well.
Yes.
This is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be as big as this, the 5S. So what I love about migrating between iPhones is that it's so easy to move your data from one iPhone to another. So as you can see here, I just picked up the iPhone 12 Pro and I have my iPhone 11 Pro lying nearby. So it immediately asks me comes up with the prompt. So if I want to set up the new iPhone, so what I can do is unlock my current device and set up the iPhone with my existing data and migrate everything within an hour or so. And the new iPhone will be having all my data and all the apps will start downloading. It's strange that Android is not doesn't have something as seamless other than say OnePlus Switch or
Maybe.
Samsung Switch. So
That's the advantage of having a single ecosystem where
yeah,
people
so it's amazing because I've done this from the 5, 6, 7, and 8, and like 10, 10s, 11. So it's like so many generations of my data sitting on the iPhone keeps getting migrated to the next future iPhone. It's one of the small hidden surprises which Apple does perfectly well.
Ease of
So
use.
let's probably just set it up manually now. So let's unlock the device, and that screen looks gorgeous. It's a 6.1 inch display. It's an AMOLED display and
Pro Retina.
Pro Retina. It's amazing, like always, and it's beautifully designed for sure. That I'm pretty much my favorite feature is the rectangular design. Feels so nice in the hand. And it feels like the weight distribution is much better this time around. The 11 Pro certainly seems bulky after using the 12 Pro for a bit.
Right.
So, in terms of the other details, it's actually powered by the all-new Apple A14 Bionic chipset under the hood. And
so it's the world's first 5 nanometer
processor, and also it's packing 6 gigs of RAM. And Apple never announces these tiny details. So we did see from a couple of reports that it's powered by the A14 Bionic along with 6 gigs of RAM. And it's got this 6.1 inch screen on the 12 Pro, and you also get a 6.7 inch screen on the 12 Pro Max. So speaking about the cameras on the 12 Pro, you have the similar 3 camera module arrangement on the back, but there's something new this time around. You have a LiDAR sensor as well. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you have 3 camera sensors on the back, 3 12MP modules, one for the telephoto, one for the wide, and one for the ultra wide.
So same as the 11 Pro.
But you get like a f1.6 aperture for the wide, f2.4 aperture for the ultra wide, with a 120 degree field of view, and the telephoto lens has a f2.0 aperture on the 12 Pro. The 12 Pro Max is a slightly different sensor. The telephoto you get f2.2 aperture, but we'll talk about that when we get hold of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So you also get 2x optical zoom in, 2x optical zoom out, and 4x optical zoom range on the 12 Pro. And you can also do 10x digital zoom. So the night mode, this is where the 12 Pro shines. So because of the LiDAR sensor, you're able to do 2 things better. So one is low light photography or night mode.
Focusing should be much faster.
And generally the low light performance, I've been using the camera for a bit. Did see some really good shots coming out of the 12 Pro. And also
portrait mode has been enabled on all lenses also,
on lenses as well, not just the wide angle. You get it on all the lenses, and you get better bokeh control and portrait lighting. Beautiful low light shots. This is in very low light conditions, but still the iPhone
manages
12 Pro
to keep up.
Manages to get some really nice shots. So these are shots which are taken in like complete darkness, and still you can see that lens flare and the amount of detail coming in. And so these are the shots which use the wide angle lens, and this is the kind of the telephoto, and like really crazy amount of detail coming in from the camera. You can see that buds of that flower.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
So it's a beautiful kind of shot. So the 12 Pro, the camera really shines, and it's not just photos, right? Talking about the video.
The iPhone's always been the king of video, and this time they've stepped up their game.
Yep.
It supports HDR video recording, and not just any HDR. It's Dolby Vision HDR support.
Yep.
With up to 4K 60 FPS at 10-bit recording. It can not only shoot at that format, it can also process it very easily, and you'll be able to edit it all on the phone
so
directly.
All which is possible with bulky equipment like a pro camera with a complete workstation. You can all do it with your iPhone.
It's just in the palm of your hand.
So you can see in the camera settings here, you have 4K 60 FPS and HDR audio, and it says record up to 60 FPS in 10-bit. High dynamic range, including Dolby Vision. So Dolby Vision, like kind of inching to try this, like considering we have a lot of TVs lying around the office with support Dolby Vision. And Dolby Vision content, I think on some content we've seen on Netflix and Amazon is brilliant, especially the colors and the kind of dynamic range you get in that content. So that is going to be possible to shoot with your iPhone, and you can be the kind of producer. You don't have to wait for Netflix or Amazon to launch a new show. You can create your own video content which is Dolby Vision compatible, and that's going to be something we're going to be definitely trying. We saw some samples which Apple shared with us, and those are really amazing. The shots which are kind of raw, coming out of an iPhone with not much of editing. So the iPhone again shines in the camera department this year again. So I saw this really cool application, usage of AR from New York Times. So this is this beautiful article about how masks work in preventing us from getting infected, and why masks also differ in terms of their ability to kind of block impurities in the air. So this has an experience in AR button and opens up in Instagram, and it's an Instagram filter basically, but it works beautifully. So you can basically find a flat surface and you can place the mask here, as you can see here, and you can tap on that and see through the eyes of a particle trying to enter. And it's beautiful for kids trying to understand science, or pretty much anybody trying to understand how kind of science or technology works. And very good kind of first-person view.
That's a visualization of how the particles actually get blocked. The
visualization is brilliant, and it's pretty simple to grasp something like this, right, for us.
Right.
So it's beautifully done. So this is why AR is going to be mainstream, and the LiDAR scanner matters. This is how an N95 mask, by the way, looks like on the inside fibers. So something new we discovered today, thanks to the AR application from New York Times. So the big story this time around with the iPhones globally is that the iPhone supports 5G finally, and 5G is going mainstream, and I think Apple is going to make 5G commonplace.
Yeah, they are the standard.
Yeah, so they set the standard. Be it wireless charging, or be it cameras, be it 5G, they are going to make 5G more
widely
available. And they're working with Verizon in the US, and that was the big story during the keynote and announcement for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. But we are not so lucky to not have 5G in India yet. We have only 4G, and just some technical info is that the 5G is made possible through the use of a Qualcomm modem.
Yes.
Apple is using their A14 Bionic SoC, which also uses a Qualcomm component, which is for the modem, which is an X50 series. So because of that, we could also see improved performance in even 4G.
Yes.
So we've been testing it over cellular networks in India, and surprisingly, even we can do probably a live test now as well. So this is on Airtel, and we're seeing decent cellular performance, about 50 to 60 odd megs down over here. And I did see some better speeds when we were inside. This is outside, so I got about 90 odd megs down. So as you can see, it's full 5 bars inside. So considering they used an Intel solution before, now it's a Qualcomm solution. So I'm kind of excited to see how the cellular performance is, because it's a Qualcomm solution and modem inside. So that's what. And it's also got a dual SIM integration. So you have a nano SIM slot.
And then the second one is an
eSIM. So you can use 2 connections on the same device. You don't need to, you can't use a physical SIM card for the second one. It needs to be an eSIM. So the same since the iPhone XS. That's when the dual SIM functionality came to the iPhones. So the quick bit about the antennas is that, considering India doesn't support 5G millimeter wave,
not yet.
That antenna for this particular unit doesn't have support for millimeter waves. It's only sub 6 5G support. That's what the box says as well. And so that's what. So but still we have support for most of the 5G bands, even for the Indian unit. So let's also quickly check the SAR value, considering a lot of you are interested in that. So RF exposure, Apple points us to a website. So our particular version we are testing here is the Apple iPhone 12 Pro A2407. So for India, it's 1.6 watts per kilogram. So it does conform to the standard. It's about 1.18 for the head and 1.14 for the body. You can see here it's running on iOS 14. This is the iPhone 12 Pro. and we have the top end
500
gig model, so you get about 497.74 gigs. Not too bad. 12 gigs is eaten away by the OS,
OS.
which is pretty much expected. And you also get an eSIM and a regular nano SIM slot. So let's also quickly unbox the MagSafe Charger as well to see how it works. So speaking about the case and MagSafe this time around, Apple has launched an all-new MagSafe Charger for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. As you can see, this is the MagSafe Charger. We have connected it to the power outlet already, so it can charge your iPhone 12 Pro at 15 watts. And Apple has packed an array of magnets on the back here. So as you can see around the
underneath
logo,
the glass, obviously.
Beneath the phone, so you have an array of magnets inside it, which helps you align it with the MagSafe Charger. So this is a separate accessory you need to buy for the iPhone, and as you can see, it kind of gives you a prompt as well on the screen. You get a notification that it's 51% charged right now. It's a nice you get a nice kind of a vibration as well once you connect this.
Apple has also put an NFC chip inside so that it will know. So until now, NFC chips have only been used for Apple Pay and other NFC purposes. This time around, they've also extended the NFC use case to identify.
Yeah, so that's the reason you have a specific MagSafe case, silicon case this time around. So you have this, we got this iPhone 12 Pro silicon case, which also works with the iPhone 12, by the way, considering both are similar dimensions. And this is priced at about 4,900 in India. And this case, let's actually snap it on. So you can see has a special marking for the MagSafe charger and magnets. So this case also comes with built-in magnets. As you can see, it will slap on by itself as well. And
you can charge through the case.
You can charge through the case. You don't have to remove the case in order to get the MagSafe charging. So we're going to be actually placing the case as well here. As you can see, you see the quick notification on the screen once the case is plugged in.
That's because of the NFC chip, and it knows.
You actually go to settings also. I think the case would be probably 1 second, not the case. I think once you do the charging, you see that case and charger details over here in the about screen. Let's see that somewhere. Yeah, so you can see it says Apple MagSafe Charger in the about page. So it charges the phone at 15 watts.
At a maximum of 15 watts. As long as you connect a PD charger or the 20 watt adapter from Apple itself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will charge at a standard 7.5 watts if you connect a normal adapter.
This is just a start. I am expecting Apple to launch a lot more devices around the MagSafe ecosystem. We saw a lot of cases. You also have a wallet case where you can clip on to the back of your phone.
You can store your credit cards in those wallet.
And so it does leave a small mark on the device,
but it's not permanent.
It's just the contact, but it's a pretty nifty case. It's based on wireless charging, and you can still use your traditional Qi compatible chargers with the iPhone as well. And this works on the Qi standard, so other phones which have wireless charging can use
including the iPhone 11.
Yeah. So you can use this, but just that it wouldn't use the magnets built in because you need that on the phone. But we did check this with a couple of other phones, Android phones, with built-in wireless charging, did get charged wirelessly, like the Samsung devices did get charged through the MagSafe charger. So talking about the front-facing camera, you have a 12MP module with an f2.2 aperture on the front, along with the Face ID sensors and all the arrangement. It is, not anything to complain in terms of the front-facing cameras. Did try a couple of shots in terms of the front-facing camera, pretty decent. And
it also supports HDR video recording with Dolby Vision, but it's only up to 30 FPS.
The back camera goes up to 60 FPS, but the front camera is only like about 30 FPS. You can do 4K with the front camera as well.
Just like the iPhone 11 Pro, you can do 4K up to 60 Hz, 1080p, slow motion.
And also supports Dolby Vision as well, the HDR mode. So that's pretty much on the cameras. So coming to the price. So this is the 12 Pro 512 gig model. So as you can see, the MRP on the box is 1,49,900. This is the top end version of the 12 Pro. but it starts from 1,19,900 for the 12 Pro 128 gig. So they've done away with the 32 and 64 now.
Thank God.
Starts with 128. Thank God for that. And so the base version is a 128 gigabyte storage model, and the OS takes about, I think, roughly
11.
about 12-13 gigs.
Okay, yeah.
So this one had 498 gigs when I got it out of the box. So 512 gig version had about 498. So I'm assuming the 256 will also have about 240 gigs odd, and the 128 will have about 110 odd
Something
gigs.
like that, yes.
So that way, not too bad. But the pricing though is pretty significantly higher in India than the rest of the world. And do let us know in the comments if you are picking up the 12 Pro or already picked one up. It's on sale in India already. And in case you're holding on for the iPhone 12 mini or 12 Pro Max, it's just still coming out later this month. It's going to be going into pre-orders, I think, tomorrow, November 6th. So that's pretty much it. So that was a quick unboxing and overview of the iPhone 12 Pro. Thank you guys for watching, and hit that subscribe button.